Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I decided to do this tutorial a little bit differently. I decided to do a voiceover instead of a talk through. I figured it was a little bit quicker, much easier to edit, and I just like the way it came out better. So yeah, let me know if you like a talk through better or a voiceover better. Um, I'm definitely going to be doing both depending on what look for which video. So first, jumping right into the video, I'm just starting off with the NYX Honeydew Primer, and I am just applying this all over my face. This primer is amazing for dry skin. When I first started doing makeup, I didn't use primer, and I always wondered why my foundation looked so flaky and crusty. And then I tried primer, and I was like, oh, that's why. So primer is definitely an important step. Don't underestimate it. Also, we're going to be prepping the lips with a little bit of the Glossier Lip Balm. I really like this lip balm, and since I'm using a matte liquid lipstick, it's definitely important to make sure your lips are nice and moisturized and plump, because matte lipsticks can really dry them out and make them crusty as well. We don't want crusty makeup around here. So now I'm going in with the L'Oreal Glow Lumi Drops. This is the pink color. They also have one in a gold color. And I'm just applying this wherever I would normally highlight. So on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin, and a little bit on the center of my forehead. You can also use this on top of your foundation, but I don't always like the way it comes out on top of my foundation. I find that it kind of breaks it apart, and I hate any type of liquid highlighters that break apart my base or disturb the base. So I just like to put this right underneath my foundation because it kind of just gives me that natural looking glow from within. This is also a really great dupe for the Iconic London drops. These are $15. I think the Iconic London drops are like $30 or $40. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but these are a great dupe for those. So I'm just patting this all into my skin right now. As you can see, and you can skip this step if you want. I just like how it gives me a glow, like I said, that glow from within. So now I'm taking my Morphe sponge and I'm just further patting this into the skin, just so it looks a little bit more flawless and it's just a little bit more sunken into my skin. So now I'm just going to take my Mario Badescu Aloe and Rose Water Spray, and I'm just going to be spritzing this all over my face, just to give my face one more layer of moisture and just one more layer of just being prepped for the makeup. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I did my brows off camera, but I was trying to do something clever and cute. So yeah, I did my brows off camera. I will be posting an in-depth brow tutorial very soon, so please stay tuned for that. So now I'm just prepping my lids for the shadow with a little bit of the Tarte Tape Shape Concealer. Normally, if I did like a more soft eyeshadow look, I would set my concealer base with translucent powder and then go in with the eyeshadow. But for this look, since I wanted a little bit more glam cut crease, I did not set my base, so the pigment will stick directly onto it and give me as much pigment as possible. You can use an eye primer for this too. I don't know, I'm just not really the biggest fan of eye primers. I find that a good concealer works just as good, if not better, than an eye primer. And so I honestly, for someone like me who's on a budget, I don't really see the point in spending money on a primer when you can just use your favorite concealer for your eye primer. So now, going in with the famous Morphe 35O palette. This palette is gorgeous. It's all over YouTube. One of the like OG Morphe palettes. I'm going in with this medium brown shade in the middle and a small tapered blending brush. I think this brush is by Ruby. I got it in an Ipsy bag. I'm not too familiar with that brand, but I do really like this brush. It has a nice small tapered point and really allows me to get into small creases and smaller parts of my eyes. So yeah, I do really like this brush. So I'm just taking this medium brown shade and I'm packing the eyeshadow on the outer V all up on the crease and on the inner V as well, because this turned into like a bronzy halo eye. I just love doing halo eyes. I feel like they just look the best with my eye shape. And yeah, so I love how this turned out. Also, I titled this for green eyes. You can wear this look for any colored eyes. I just thought the color combinations that I used in this and how it made my eyes look, it really made them pop. So I thought it would be a great look, especially for green eyes. So I'm just doing both things. Sorry. Blech. I'm doing the same thing on both eyes and just packing that medium brown on. Now I'm taking a fluffier crease brush and taking these 3 orangey shades and just mixing them together and tapping off the excess. And this brush is by Morphe, and I'm just taking this and really diffusing out the edges of that first brown that we laid on to make everything look a lot more blended and flawless and a little bit more smoked out. Now makeup gets weird, like halfway through your makeup it's gonna look weird, but like, you know what I mean? Like when makeup looks weird, but then like as you keep adding each step it starts to come together. So I'm just doing the same thing with those orange colors in the other eye and just blending it out, as you can see. And any other eye looks or tutorials or reviews that you guys would like to see, please let me know. I really love to hear what people want to see so I can have some ideas and put things out that people are interested in. So yeah, just further blending that out. The key to this look and really any cut crease halo eye is just blending. Just really take your time with your brush and just go in and really blend everything out. And just be patient. Makeup is an art, so you can't rush perfection. You just have to take your time with it and work at it until it comes out the way you like. Now I'm going to be cutting the crease, so I'm taking my Tarte Tape Shape Concealer in a small, flat, synthetic brush by Morphe, and I'm just going to cut the crease. So right where, see how I'm like looking kind of down but straight into my mirror? Right where your eye creases in, that's where you want to apply the concealer and cut it. That's why it's called a cut crease. This does take some practice, but just keep working at it. Honestly, it only took me a few tries to get this technique down. But once you get it down, it's really fun to do, and you can just do so many different looks using a cut crease with so many different colors. Like, I could have turned this look, I turned it into something a little bit more soft and not as like crazy out there with color, but I could have turned this look, instead of like packing a copper on my cut crease, I could have packed like a purple or like a green or something to really make it stick out. So yeah, there's just so much you could do with cut creases. They're really fun. They're definitely in right now, like definitely trending in makeup. So I just love doing them. So same thing on the other eye. I'm once again going in and cutting the crease. And don't set, after you cut the crease with the concealer, don't set it with powder either, because we really want that concealer to stick on to the pigment that we're going to apply to the lid. Or we want the pigment to stick onto the concealer, you know what I mean. So now I'm going in with this coppery foiled color down in the corner. It's so pretty. I really love it. It's super pigmented, super buttery. As you can see, I'm like, ooh. And I'm just going to be packing this all over where I applied that concealer. I'm just going in with my finger. I find that when it comes to foiled colors, my finger gives me the most color payoff. If you don't want to use your finger, you can definitely use a small synthetic brush and wet your brush a little bit with some setting spray and then go in. But I just find that my finger, it's the quickest way, the easiest way. It gets the job done just as well, if not better, than a brush would. So I'm just doing the same thing to the other eye, applying that coppery shade. And for every look I do, I never really have a plan. Because once again, makeup's an art. There's no rules. So I'll somewhat have a plan going in, but I kind of just freestyle my look, and however it comes out, it comes out. And most of the time I like how it comes out. So yeah, it's an art. There's no rules. Do it however you want to. And also, you can never know everything when doing makeup. There's always more you can learn. So now I'm taking a small crease brush and I'm taking that deep, darker brown at the bottom. And I'm just using this on my outer corner and a little bit on my inner corner just to give my eye a little bit more depth and dimension and really give it that halo effect that I was going for. As you can see, applying this darker brown instantly adds dimension and just makes the eyeshadow look a little bit more defined. I'm just looking at myself like, okay. Alright, so now I'm going to be prepping my lashes with a little bit of the Maybelline The Rocket Mascara. I will be applying falsies for this video, but if you don't want falsies, you can definitely just leave it at mascara and just leave it at that. But I really like applying falsies. I like to do it to practice, and I love the way they look. If you want an in-depth tutorial on how I apply falsies, leave a comment down below, like I said before, and I will definitely do that for you. I would need to hear what people want so I can put out content that people want to watch. Alright, so first I went in with my Hourglass Vanishing Stick Foundation and just wiped that all over my face, but then I remembered, oh, I gotta finish the upper part of my eye first. So I just took a bone shade and a flat shader brush from Morphe, and I'm just using this to apply to highlight the brow bone. I don't usually like to use shimmery shades to highlight the brow bone. I don't know, I just think it looks weird, especially when you have a shimmery shade on your eyelid. I like to use a matte bone colored shade. So now I'm going in with my Morphe Kabuki foundation brush, and I'm just using circular motions to buff this foundation into the skin. Now, I almost always use a sponge or a beauty blender to apply my foundation, but for this foundation in particular, it's just a little bit more thick and a little bit more, it's just different than like a liquid foundation. At first, I didn't like this foundation. I hated it, but it's always raved about on YouTube and how much everyone loves it, so I kept trying to give it a second chance. And then I finally tried applying it with a foundation brush, a Kabuki foundation brush, and I was like, oh, okay, now I see what everyone's talking about. It just doesn't, I just find that this foundation works better with a brush than a sponge. And I almost never say that. Because usually I hate the way that brushes leave like streaky marks in your foundation, you know what I mean? Like that shit is not cute. You don't want to look like you just like literally painted your face. So I am going in with my sponge a little bit just to smooth everything out and make sure there are none of those brush strokes. Because we definitely don't want that. I'm so pale. I need a tan. I need a tan and I need to go out and buy darker foundation shades because I literally look so white. I hate it. But anyways, I'm going in with that mascara again and I'm just making sure my real lashes are blended in with my false lashes so they look together as one. Nothing's worse than when you see a girl's real lashes sticking out underneath her false ones. So now we're going to be doing a little bit of cream contouring. And I'm using the NYX Wonder Sticks Cream Contouring Stick. I just said stick like 3 times. Sorry. So I'm just contouring my cheekbones, my forehead, my nose, a little bit underneath my lip to make it look more pouty, my jawline, and a little bit down my neck. If you want an in-depth tutorial on how I cream contour, comment down below. Like I keep repeating myself, comment down below anything you want to see. I need to know what people want to see or what people want to know how to do. So now I'm taking a little bit of my Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline, and I'm just using a little bit of this just to conceal my under eyes because I wanted a really full coverage glam look for this. This is not the concealer I'm using to highlight my face, so I'm just using this as an extra layer of coverage for my dark circles. I'm just taking my Morphe sponge. I love that Morphe sponge better than the original Beauty Blender. It's fatter, I find it blends better, and I just love the way it's shaped. And it's only $7. The original Beauty Blender is like $20. And I'm just using this to blend in my cream contour. I don't use anything besides a sponge to blend in my cream contour. And the NYX Wonder Sticks are also a really great product to start out with for cream contour because they're very light, extremely blendable. They won't look too thick or muddy on the skin. So I would definitely say that's a good product for beginners for cream contour. So now I'm going in with some Tarte Tape Shape to highlight my face. So I am highlighting my under eyes. I'm going to be highlighting the center of my forehead, on my chin, and I'm also going underneath that contour just to clean it up a little bit and make everything look nice and neat. And I also like to apply concealer on my smile lines because when I smile throughout the day, it will break apart my foundation. So yeah, I just like to apply it there so my foundation doesn't break apart. So now I'm going in with my Morphe Beauty Sponge and I'm blending this concealer out. And as you blend out your under eyes, you better have that powder on hand and ready to go because you don't want to give your concealer a chance to crease. And then you don't want to set the crease because once you set the crease, that's when your under eye looks crinkly and old and like weird, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm talking about. So as you can see, immediately, I don't even blend out the other eye first. Immediately after blending out each eye, I go in and set it with powder. Also, if your skin is more dry, baking might not be for you. Like right now my skin was kind of dry, so like I just find that baking wasn't really for me. So I just use however amount of powder that I feel necessary to set my eye instead of putting a bunch of powder under there and kind of drying it out. Just blending out the concealer on my smile lines and setting it immediately. I love to set immediately before I give anything a chance to move. Blending out the cream contour on my neck, on my jawline, blending out the concealer on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. I like to do this last once I have, I like to blend out my contour on my nose last once I have some concealer on my sponge because nose contour can look very intense and too much very easily. So it's just important to have a little bit of concealer on your sponge to blend it out so it looks more soft and not so harsh. So it doesn't just look like brown lines on your nose. Now I'm just going in with a big, large face brush by Morphe just to go over everything and blend out the powder and make sure everything is a little bit more set. So now I'm going in with the Benefit Hoola Light Bronzer and my Morphe Angled Contour Brush. I got this one from the Face Lay set. I think that's like $18. And I'm just going to be applying this wherever I applied cream contour. So my cheekbones, my big old forehead, underneath my lip, my jawline, and I use a smaller brush to apply it down the sides of my nose. You can see that's what I'm about to do here. And as you can see, the bronzer just instantly just brings some life back into my face and I don't look so pale and like dead. So yeah, definitely bronzer is everything. I need to go back in. I'm like, you see me touch my forehead? I'm like, this forehead is too big. So I just went in with some more bronzer just to contour it. I'm like, oh yes, girl. Now I'm going in with these two softer orangey shades to finish the rest of my lower lash line. And I'm just taking a small pencil brush from Morphe that I got from the Eye Slay set. I'm just really using this to, and using those two colors to smoke out my lower lash line. Make everything look one and connected. Smoking out the lower lash line used to look so weird on me, but everything in makeup used to look weird on me, but I'm telling you, just keep practicing and working at it. And one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh shit, I'm good at makeup. Got powder all over my shirt. Does that happen to anyone else after they use powder? It just gets all over their shirt. So now I'm using the Kajal Waterline Eyeliner. And I'm just lining my lower and upper waterlines just to add some definition. And the upper waterline just fills in the small little gaps for your falsies, if that makes sense. And I'm going in with that Maybelline Rocket Mascara and applying this to my lower lashes. I love my lower lashes. You can just instantly see them like show up, and it just makes such a difference in a look. Yeah, and as you can see, the color combination that I ended up using made my eyes like just pop so much. So that's why I titled it for green eyes, because I thought it was a great look for somebody with green eyes. But really, no matter what eyes you have, like I said before, you can definitely rock this look as well. And if you don't have the Morphe 35O palette, go get it and do this tutorial. That palette is worth, I think it's like 20 something dollars. It's worth every cent. You can do so many, hundreds of different looks with it. It's really natural, has a lot of natural colors, it's easy to use. So if you don't have it, go get it so you can do this look. Okay, now I'm going in with some Essence blush, and all you need is pink. And I'm using a fan brush to apply this to the apples of my cheeks. I use a fan brush for blush because I find that it applies it lighter, because nobody likes a big like stripe of blush that can really just ruin a look. Blush is just supposed to bring that wash of color back into your face that the foundation took away. Keep that in mind. It's not supposed to make you look like a freaking doll. Now I'm taking a foiled champagne shade from the 35O palette, and I'm applying this to my inner corners to give myself an inner corner highlight and really make my eyes pop. Oh, sorry, I picked my nose for a second. Don't judge me. Now I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Winter Solstice Highlighting Palette. I really love this palette, and I'm mixing the yellow shade and the pink shade, and I find that these two mixed together makes a really pretty rose gold color, and I really like how it comes out. So I'm using my Ipsy tapered highlighting brush and just applying this to the apples of my cheeks. I mean, not the apples, the high points of my cheeks. As you can see, I'm like, yes, see that highlight? Okay. I'm also going to be taking this large pencil brush and applying this down the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose, on my cupid's bow, and yeah, wherever else you like to highlight. The other day, my boyfriend was like, babe, you have a big gold splotch above your lip. I was like, that's my cupid's bow highlight. Leave me alone. Boys just have no idea what makeup is, or like what goes into it. It's kind of funny. So now for lips, I'm taking the Lord & Berry Maximat Lip Crayon in Spice, and I am just using this to line my lips. I really love this color. I also really love, I don't know too much about this brand either, so if you do, comment down below. I really love this product. Super creamy. You could wear it alone or use it as a liner. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Kylie Cosmetics Dirty Peach Liquid Lipstick. And this liquid lipstick came out perfect. It goes with the eyes so well, and I wasn't really sure if it would, and it totally did. I'm just patting them together so everything looks seamless and perfect. I'm trying to be cute here, like, oh, yes, Kylie Cosmetics, okay. And last but not least, I'm spritzing with a little bit of more of Mario Badescu spray. Now, this is the finished look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!